name is Rochelle Lentini, and I'm with Purple Playas Foundation. And I would like to talk a little bit today about rules and expectations in the home. So, of course, you all have been trying to get through your days, and I am sure there have been moments where you want your child to do something and they don't do it. So, I want to talk about home rules. And just like a classroom, you can create rules for your home. And so I want to share with you kind of what the literature and research says about best practices when it comes to creating rules. And I'm going to specifically talk about young children, but of course this can apply for older children too. So rules can be powerful in communicating what you expect of children. When you're creating your home rules, it would be helpful if you did it as a family, because then everybody's on the same page, everybody has their voice shared, and everybody has kind of some agreement onto what your family rules are going to be. You should create no more than 5 family rules. So when you're creating these rules, think about them in a broad enough sense that what you guys accept as your household rules apply to multiple situations. And the reason for this is because you can have general home rules, but then you can have specific rules for like when you're outside playing, and you can have specific rules for pool time, or you can have specific rules for bath time. But think generally, like globally, for your whole entire house and the different situations in your home. Your rules should communicate what you want children to do. And the reason that I say this is because I'm sure many of you, when you were children, you probably had rules that told you what to stop or what not to do. And the reason that I'm kind of challenging you to think about stating things in a way that clearly communicates what to do is it will strengthen the chance that your younger children will actually be able to comply and follow those rules. So let me give you for instance. So I had a friend, and she, of course, had a young child who, whenever they played out in the front yard, because they didn't really have a backyard, whenever they played in the front yard, the little girl would run towards the street, and their street was perpendicular to a very, very busy street. And she kept saying to me, "Rochelle, I don't know what to do. She keeps running towards the street, and I'm so scared she's going to get hit by the car." And I said, "Well, what do you usually do?" And she, of course, shared with me that she tells her to stop running or don't go in the street. And I said, "Okay, now tell me where she can go. Tell me what she can do." And she said, "Well, she can play on the front porch, or she can play in the grass, or she can play in the driveway." And so I said, then that's what you need to say. That's what your rule has to be. Stay in our yard, or stay on the porch, or stay in the driveway. The rule is we stay in our yard. And it was interesting because you could see that the mom was kind of like, I had never thought of it that way. My first instinct was just say, stop, or don't go in the street. And certainly we want to kind of alert children when they're in danger, but by giving her the message of what she could do, just like that, that child stayed in the yard. And I really didn't do anything very magical in giving her that tip. But by giving her that tip, she was able to more effectively communicate the rule that she wanted her child to stay in the yard. So it's the same thing for other, rules that we create for our children. So instead of, no hitting in the house, it's gentle hands, gentle feet. Instead of, stop running inside, it's we walk inside. So really think about how we structure what we say in a way that's very simple, concrete, and in the positive, what you want them to do. Now, do children know they're in trouble when you're like, stop running? Absolutely. They know something's wrong, but young kids hear stop and they hear running. So they know, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. I can see my mom or dad is really upset, but they're hearing running. And sometimes they do the very thing you're telling them not to do. And I want to just say that because, you know, as children develop language skills, they start to understand that when we say no or don't or stop in front of a word, that it negates what the verb is. So stop running, you know, older children can say in their brain, okay, I'm not supposed to run, so what am I supposed to do instead? But younger children, they don't have that skill yet. So by saying what you expect them to do, walk, they're much more likely to do it. So if you want to create family rules for your house, I encourage you to do so. I think they're a fabulous idea. Remember to keep them under 5. Tell kids what you want them to do. State it in the positive. And then also think about displaying it visually. So if you didn't see the previous video about visuals, you can simply create photographs of your own children displaying whatever it is that you come up with as your household rules. So maybe your household rules are we use kind words and interactions. We have gentle hands and feet. We ask before we take. I don't know. Whatever your rules are, you can have your kids kind of stage that interaction or that rule and take a photo, and then it can go on your fridge. Just be mindful to be specific. Think about how they will apply to all the settings in your house, and then teach it. Teach it to your children. So I don't want you to like knock yourself down if you accidentally yell out stop running instead of using walking feet, or stop hitting instead of we use gentle hands and feet. You just simply have to restate it. So if you catch yourself saying it the old way by saying no, don't, stop, then simply just rephrase it, because it is the last thing a child hears that they're most likely to do. So try the rules. Thanks.